my rights have been violated and I haven't had due process. That's what I'm telling y'all. I already lost my job behind y'all. And I just sent her money. Y'all telling me I don't take care of my kids. I got proof that I send my money. It's some bull.
Okay, so I need both of you to come on camera and raise your right hands. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Humphrey, I do show that we received the payment on February the 29th, but we haven't received anything in March. What is going on?
Yes, ma'am. So
there is a payment that came in 327 for $71, but it was involuntary, as were all of the other payments.
Wow. So, Mr. Humphrey, when are you going to get on board and just go in and start making your child support payments?
okay. So this is what's been going on. I was a UPS driver. I went out for injury. I didn't get paid for 2 years, and I've taken this baby to help me get my license back so I can at least go into work on the disability position. And we was living together. So now that I couldn't get my license back to go back to work, they fired me. I was pushed to retirement, and I'm still injured, and I got paperwork, and I'm applying for SSI disability.
I'm confused. Are you on disability? What is it that you're saying? What is the reason you're not paying child support?
I'm out of work. I was out of work on disability. I wasn't getting paid. Right? And I got paperwork showing the time that I was off. I've been injured since 2016. I was T-boned in the truck, and I've been dealing with this. And I've been.
You said since October of 2016.
So since 2016, I've been in and out of work with UPS.
Okay, because we received the payment back on February 29th. Who did that come from?
That's all I got. That's Texas. That's all I got. I haven't worked since 2022.
That was an involuntary payment, Your Honor.
Okay.
Do you hear me, Judge? Hello?
I do, but I'm trying to find out how do you support yourself? What are you doing?
If I can.
Mm-hmm. And why can't you get a job?
I got a back injury. I tore the muscles in my lower back. I was in a
Okay, so you might not be able to drive a UPS truck, but why can't you do a desk job?
I've been trying to get a job. I can't work nowhere. I can barely sit and stand. Look, man, since I've been on child support, me and Ms. Vega was living together. She started putting me out and stuff. I was paying bills while I was on child support, and to this day, I still spend all my money on my kids. I see my kids every week, and she drop them off whenever she wants to.
Well, that's kind of irrelevant. I need to know when you are going to start working, because you have to be able to support your children. And it sounds to me like you work here and there when you have to.
Well, they disabled me. My doctor disabled me. I got disability paperwork. They disabled me. I've been unable to work.
Ms. Carson, do you have anything from the state of Georgia with regards to his disability?
Nothing that I know of.
So why haven't you submitted any paperwork?
I've been submitting paperwork. The lady at the child support office, right, hasn't been submitting any of my documentation. I've been going up there with the kids. I've been telling them that The last time I went, I told them that I had the kids. I had to return the kids to them, to Miss Vega. That's when I was fed up. I was taking care of them. I'm sending my money to them, and I'm spending my money on the apartment, her apartment, and I just couldn't do it no more. The kids, I was having the kids, and I took them up there to the child support office while she was up there, right? I had them call her to come up there, and then they told me to bring the kids up there and leave them with her. And that's the day that she submitted the child abandonment paperwork. And I've been telling them and telling them and telling them. Like I lost my job behind all of this because I didn't have my license.
Well, I hear you saying that you're telling them, but what doctor's paperwork have you submitted?
Who do I submit my paperwork to other than the women at the local child support office? Who do I submit my paperwork to?
Well, for one, you could submit it to this office as well, because when we look in the computer, we're not seeing any paperwork.
And also, the last time I went down there, they had a whole. I submitted a request for mistreatment because when I went down there, right, my sister went back first, and then when my name was called, the lady was back there telling the manager of the child support office that she wasn't doing the fucking thing to me, and then once I came back there, my sister was still back there, and my sister approached her. She had it all on recording. My sister approached her and said, "Tell her what you told him." And since then, I knew they wasn't submitting my paperwork that I was telling them. And when I first went out on disability at work, I submitted my paperwork, and that was July 2022.
Now, when you say you submitted your paperwork, is this paperwork from an approved physician?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you updated it since 2022?
Yes, ma'am. I recently went up there in January, and then I filed a court claim and court after the altercation that we had up there.
I don't understand. What do you mean altercations?
With the whole little while I was up there telling her manager that she wasn't gonna do a thing for me, and it was a whole argument and everything, and they told us not to come back up there.
Okay, so what I think you need to do is you need to go back to the doctor. You need to get current paperwork, because if you're still submitting the 2022 paperwork, they may not accept it. You need to get some 2024 paperwork from your doctor showing that you are disabled. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you need to submit that to child support. If you're applying for disability, you need to submit it to the state of Georgia, and then you need to submit it to our office.
Well, I ain't got. So what would be proof that I'm taking care of my kid? What would be considered proof?
That you paid money. And I mean, none of this shows that you paid any money. So we're just trying to find out what your status is.
So you
to find out.
So you asking me, do I take care of my kids? So you don't have any significant evidence that I don't take care of my kids other than money? That's what you're telling me?
Okay, so if you're saying that when you take care of your kids, it does not include money, then all I can do is put you in jail. There's no such thing as supporting your children without providing finances. Oh, I guess he didn't like that. So, Miss Vega, is he just trying to provide care? Is that what this is about?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I know I work for the DeKalb County school system, and I work a full 40-hour week. On the week, I have my Friday. I have children to go over to the grandparents' house, which is where Mr. Humphrey resides right now. So I allow them to have that open relationship and communication with dad and grandparents.
Okay, I'm sorry. Your line is very, very. Let me just repeat what I think I heard. So basically you work every day and you take the children to his parents' house on the weekend so that he can, you know, do whatever for his children, but also in the care of the grandparents who are the ones that have the roof over the children's head and I guess are feeding them. Was that correct?
Yes.
And so do you know anything about this disability?
So I know that he had his back thrown out, but I'm not sure what his employer and him have talked about, because when I did put him on child support, unfortunately, from child support, because he's not working, they don't have any money support. But I'm, you know, with dad, he'll send me emails in regards that he's still working. So I wasn't sure whether he was still working, whether he wasn't working.
Okay. Yeah, your line is still really bad. So, Ms. Carson, you said $71 came in this month?
Yeah,
Last
but
month?
these are all involuntary, and it's going to take time to get to her.
Oh, they're not. Oh, they don't release. Okay.
Yeah, one of the payments was $792, and that came in February 29th. The other one is just $71 on March 27th, but they'll both take some time.
Could he be in the fatherhood or any of our programs?
There's no fatherhood information on here at all.
So how can he, is something that he has to request?
No, I can send something. Yeah, it's a cab case, so I can send something in to ask that he be put in the father program.
Let's do that, because I don't know. I think there's some inability to comprehend what his responsibilities are. Mr. Humphrey, can you hear me? Can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am. My iPad went dead.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to put you in the fatherhood program.
Hold on.
So you.
Oh, wait. Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
So you telling me that y'all can take my license, make me lose my job, the way I support my kids, while me and Sheena Vega living together and I'm paying all the bills? You telling me that y'all can take my license, make me lose my job, and then tell me I need to go in the fatherhood program because I'm not taking care of my kids?
Yes.
And y'all don't have no proof, and I still don't have no way of getting around, and I'm still in my kids' life. Y'all gonna tell me that I gotta go to a fatherhood program? I was at my job for 15 years. For 15 years, I didn't lose my job until I lost my license. And I always been in my kids' lives. I've never been a part of their life. And you telling me,
Mr. Humphrey, are you aware that if you report to child support and you tell them your situation, that you can get your driver's license returned?
Man, it ain't even about the licenses. That's what I'm telling y'all. I already lost my job behind y'all. And I just sent her money. Y'all telling me I don't take care of my kids. I got proof that I send my money.
Okay, so Mr. Humphrey, I'm giving you the opportunity to do the fatherhood program.
It's some bull.
I don't know what that means, but okay, so we're going to just resume on May the 3rd. I just want to see if he can get to a point of understanding that whether you and he are together or not, he has a responsibility to take care of his children.
4 to 6 weeks later.
Gregory Humphrey, Sheena Vega.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, Mr. Humphrey, Miss Vega, if I can have both of you raise your right hands. Okay, do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Humphrey, we haven't received a payment on this case since March the 27th.
Yes, ma'am. I'm currently waiting for SSI disability. I injured my back in 07 or 22 at work, and I've had 3 back surgeries. And as of August 2023, I had to resign and retire from my job, and I received $100 a month because of catastrophic injury.
Mm-hmm.
So you telling me that y'all can take my license, make me lose my job, the way I support my kids? That's what I'm telling y'all. I already lost my job behind y'all. I already lost my job behind y'all. I had to resign and retire from my job, and I received $100 a month because of catastrophic injury.
Mm-hmm. Well, but Social Security has not made a determination that you are disabled. So
I have applied.
okay, now I don't know if you listened to Miss Ford at the beginning, but you can't be walking around and doing other things while you're on this video. So can you put yourself in one place?
I have nerve damage and I can barely walk.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so what is the situation? Because if you don't have a determination yet from Social Security, you have to continue paying your child support.
I don't have a job. I can. So this situation from the beginning, I never abandoned my child, and we've never been apart. I live with Miss Vega from the time she put me on child support until 2023. I was paying child support, rent, and giving her money.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I finally had enough of it, she dropped the kids off. So I was taking care of the kids for 4 months from September to December. And I was calling child support and defects. And I went up there to the defects office and I gave them my paperwork. And the lady at the defects office told me she not doing the effing thing for me and that they couldn't reduce my child support payment.
So are all of these the reasons why you decided to go on Social Security disability? Because this doesn't really have anything to do with why you're not making current payments.
I'm not getting paid. I'm only getting $100 a month.
Well, I mean, the only conclusion I can come to is that Social Security has made the determination that you're not disabled. It may be that you can work a desk job. You might be able not to work the one that you had before, but you've got to consider other alternatives because not only for your child, but I'm sure that you have to survive yourself. Is that not correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So how do you pay rent?
I don't rent. We own a home.
Mm-hmm. Well, even when you own a home, utilities have to be paid.
Yeah.
So are these things getting paid?
Yeah.
So you need to find that source and make sure that you pay your child support because you're making sure that your needs are taken care of, but you're not taking care of the needs of your children.
Issue. We take care of them 50-50. I have my kids every weekend, through the weekend, and sometimes through the week.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an issue of me taking care of my kids. It's never been a day that I haven't been a part of my kids' life. And I guess I'm here to defend myself today, but there's no way to defend yourself as a man taking care of your kids. I can show videos and whatever you want to see, vacations.
Okay, so let me tell you something.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't want to pay child support, then you remember at the beginning, I said we cannot assess value to what you think what your services are worth. So stop doing the babysitting or, the parenting that you're doing and pay the child support. And that way you are back to where you need to be because you obviously feel that you're going above and beyond with care, but that's not what the court is asking you for. We're asking you to pay your child support.
I neglect my kids like that.
Excuse me?
I neglect my kids like that.
Well, I mean, you don't have a choice when it comes to child support. So you can do what you can do for your children, but just make sure that you pay your child support, because the child support is what is mandated. You spending 50% of the time with your children is not mandated by this court.
You heard that? Are you saying cut off all contact and just pay child support?
Those words never came out of my mouth, that cut off all contact. No, you can call your children, you can visit them, you can FaceTime them, you can Zoom them, you can take them out to lunch every once in a while. You can spend 6 p.m. Friday until 6 p.m. Sunday, but your priority is to make sure that they're supported. So you need to do something that's going to provide support for your children.
Well, yes, ma'am. That's what I'm saying. My children were well supported. When I was working, I was making $50 an hour. That's what I'm saying. I was paying Miss Vega's rent, and we were staying together. I was paying the rent, and she didn't work.
Okay, when we go into this, it sounds as if this is purposeful and intentional, that you're not paying child support now because you think that you've given all of this in the past. That's not the issue for this court. Okay, and you're disrespecting the court again by walking around while you're on video. As I stated before, you need to be in one place.
I can't sit down for long. I have nerve damage. Like I'm trying to hold it together. Just please work. Please. I have spinal cord damage to my lower back. I've been trying to explain that to them. I went down there to the child support office, and they neglected me to give me due process. And it's been the same thing the entire time. I've been going down there, getting my paperwork. My paperwork never got submitted. My injury paperwork never got submitted. And it ultimately ended up in me resigning from my position at my job.
So how are you going to resolve this? And the resolution needs to be monetary.
Well, I receive $100 a month pension, and whatever I can, I'll send to the child support office. But as of now, I'm not working, and I'm waiting to receive SSI disability.
Have you requested benefits on behalf of your children?
Yes, ma'am. I also submitted paperwork for custody and legitimation.
Okay, I can't hear all of that because that has nothing to do with this. So, okay, Ms. Vega, are you aware of all of these issues that Mr. Humphrey has?
I am aware of his back with him being resigned from his job. I don't know whether he was fired or voluntarily quit. That I don't know. I have spoken to him about it. He's told me he's been fired, but I don't have any proof that he's been resigned or he's been fired without a rehire or anything like that. I've suggested to him, look, if you can go back to UPS, if they can give you a desk job and you prove to them your paperwork that you can't do heavy duty lifting or heavy duty activities, I will be in agreement to helping him to where he can, still make payments and still have his job. Or if we can come down to a resolution where we can have something written and agreed and notarized by the court, so where it's like, look, this is what you're going to pay, but you have to be consistent. And you still have your job and you have your license and you can still be able to get by to where you can provide for yourself. But I can't help him if he chooses not to help himself.
So, Mr. Humphrey, I guess I need to, find out from you, what it is that you're going to do, because waiting for Social Security to start paying you is not an option when you have children.
Yes, ma'am. Like I stated, I take care of my kids, and it isn't this a hearing? Can I ask questions?
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I would like for you to ask Ms. Vega, was I living with her when she put me on child support?
But I'm not going to ask that because I'm not dealing with the child support in the past. I'm dealing with the child support today. I'm mandated to ask you why you're not paying $651 today. Therefore, anything that was happening when you two were living together has no part to this hearing.
Yes, ma'am. Like I stated, I suffered a catastrophic back injury where I have nerve damage and I can barely walk. I can submit paperwork. I have all my paperwork, my doctor paperwork, everything. But as far as what you guys are asking, I can only do the best that I can.
Well, right now that has turned out to be nothing in the past, let's see, March, April, we've got nothing in April, and this is May. So can you make a payment every month?
Yes, I told you I'll send the retirement check that I received.
And if this is the case, have you gone to child support to request a modification?
Man, several times. The lady, Miss Sandra Fulton, she cussed me out. And she told, well, can I say what she said?
No, not if she cussed you out. Okay, so
my sister was present, and I filed something with the court against her. But the entire time this has been going on, I have my rights have been violated, and I haven't had due process. Even when I was put on child support, I never had a day in court. Never. Never. I've always been in my kids' life from day one. Day one. I've never went 2 months, 3 months without.
Okay, but if you heard me at the beginning, I told you that this is not about you abandoning your child emotionally. It's support wise. So that's not an issue. But I do need for you to go ahead and, like I said, get that $100 in as soon as possible so that when I sit down with my cases, I can, I don't want to have to put you in jail, but you have to cooperate.
What's cooperating?
Paying money. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, isn't this voluntary? Are you working on court today, or are you working under child support?
I'm working for the court.
The judicial branch.
Absolutely. Did you listen to anything that I said in my introduction, where I said that in the state of Georgia, both parents are legally required to pay support for their minor children?
And I don't pay support my kids. They saying, but I support my kids.
Okay, there was another section that I read to you that said that you cannot make non-monetary payments and expect the other side to accept it. Once your case goes to DHS, you have to make the money. You have to make payments. You understand?
I'm listening. So the whole reason I got on child support anyway was I filed to have Miss Vega on child support. She broke into my vehicle and stole the paperwork.
Okay. Now we're totally beyond what this court is for. So I'm going to leave it at what I said. When I sit down to review my cases, when I sit down to review next week, if there's $100 paid in, then I will not do the arrest order. I'm putting it under advisement. But if there is nothing paid, then I don't have a choice. Okay, so you know where you stand, and to have to move on. So I'm going to dismiss you for now. You are dismissed.